Think, Pair, Share is a research-based strategy that provides students with a structured response time. When students are asked to think about a given topic, Think, Pair, Share allows them to develop ideas and share them with a peer. Think, Pair, Share is known as a three-step paired cooperative procedure which was created by Dr. Frank Lyman in 1981. There are numerous benefits to using this learning strategy in the classroom. One major benefit of implementing this learning strategy is that it promotes increased classroom participation because all students are encouraged to respond. Another benefit to Think, Pair, Share is that students are provided the opportunity to share their ideas with at least one other student. This helps to keep the students engaged, and it provides them with a sense of belonging and involvement. This strategy also gives the students a sense of responsibility in regards to their learning. Each student is responsible for sharing their thoughts and ideas with a pair. In addition to teaching students to be responsible for their learning, this strategy also helps students to develop proper listening skills, turn-taking, and the ability to consider other points of view. In order to learn best, students need time to process new ideas and information. Who better to discuss their learning with than people who are engaged in the same learning experience, their peers? Even as adults, we know that talking about things out loud can help us to develop understanding. This is even more true for our students. Kids need to talk, which is why Think, Pair, Share is so important. Think, Pair, Share can be especially useful when developing reading skills such as vocabulary and comprehension. All students are encouraged to formulate responses to questions posed by the teacher, which ensures that the majority, if not all of the students, are working to develop an understanding of the topic. Students have the opportunity to share their thinking with peers, which allows them to compare their ideas. In regards to learning new vocabulary, this process will help students to learn and retain information easily. When practicing comprehension, this process can help students to build upon their ideas by incorporating their peers' thoughts. Think, Pair, Share is a great way to teach students that comprehension questions can result in numerous correct responses, as long as they are accompanied by supporting evidence or details. The Think, Pair, Share learning strategy is comprised of 3 steps. The first step requires that each student reflects on a question posed by the teacher. During this step, the students should be thinking silently and individually. During the second step, students are placed in pairs and they exchange their responses with one another. At this point in the process, the teacher should be circulating and listening to the conversations taking place. This information gathered by the teacher can be used as an assessment tool, and it allows the teacher to hear if students are responding appropriately. During step 3, the students share their responses aloud. This portion of Think, Pair, Share may differ from class to class. Some teachers may only select a few students to share their responses with the whole group, while other teachers may ask that each willing student share their ideas aloud. Step 3 may vary based on class size as well as the student's understanding of the topic. As with any new learning strategy, modeling and guided practice must take place. Begin by identifying the learning target. What question or questions are you going to ask the students? Next, inform the students of the strategy's purpose. It's important that the students know this is a collaborative learning strategy to promote thinking. Lastly, model the strategy by practicing with 2 to 3 students before using this with the whole group. One of the great things about Think, Pair, Share is that there are numerous ways to implement it. The original method is what we've been discussing throughout this presentation. The teacher poses a question, students think about a response individually, then pair up to discuss their responses together. Finally, the students can share their thoughts and ideas with the whole group. The double think, pair, share method is nearly identical to the original, with the exception of step 4. During this step, each pair finds another pair to share answers with. As the first team reads their answers aloud, the second team adds these new ideas to their list, or puts a check mark next to items they already have. Then the second team shares their answers that were missing from the first group's list. After the students have done this, they can share their responses aloud. This take on Think, Pair, Share is great for those classes that need a little movement. Mingle, Pair, Share begins with students moving silently throughout the room as music plays in the background. When the music stops, each student finds a partner closest to them. Once everyone has partnered up, the teacher poses a question. Partners begin sharing ideas with each other and listening to one another. After both partners have had a chance to speak, the music should begin playing again. Students will mix throughout the room and find new partners. This process can be repeated based on the number of questions the teacher would like to ask. Write around is a loose interpretation of Think, Pair, Share, but it's a cooperative learning strategy nonetheless. This process begins with the teacher providing a sentence starter. Each student must copy this sentence onto their paper and finish the sentence on their own. Next, students will pass their papers to the right and read what they have received from their neighbor. Students will add a new sentence to the page they received and pass the paper to the right again. As this process continues, stories will begin to emerge and students will be exposed to a variety of writing styles and ideas. If you're interested in increasing classroom participation and involvement, and you want to build on conversation skills while incorporating higher level thinking and brainstorming, then give Think, Pair, Share a try. You won't regret it, and your students will thank you.